Hi, my name is Karim, and this is the first part of a tutorial for beginners at chess. In this episode, we're gonna talk about how pieces move, how to use the board, and some principles that we need to use in the openings. Um, let's say that you want to play on a physical board, but you don't have letters or numbers. How do you uh, how do you put it correctly? So the easiest thing to uh, observe is every player should have on the right down part of the board a white corner. That's the easiest thing to see, and this is the way a chess board is put correctly. Okay, we're gonna talk about pieces now. This is a pawn. A pawn moves first when it's the first move can go one square or two squares, but after that it can only go one square. It can capture diagonally, yeah, and when it reaches the other side of the board, it can transform to either a queen, a rook, a bishop, or a knight. Okay, now the knight. The knight moves in an L, and that's the main thing about it. It just moves in an L. Okay, the bishop, it goes diagonally, yeah, so it captures pieces. Yeah, let's say that there is a pawn here and a pawn, let's say here, yeah, he can capture it. It doesn't matter where the piece is, yeah, like if it's here he can capture it, if it's here he can capture it, yeah. So the bishop is quite powerful when it has diagonals open. Okay, the rook moves vertically and horizontally, and with the king it can do a castle, which is this is a castle, if the pieces haven't moved for the rest of the, yeah, from the beginning of the game, and it does like this. Okay, the queen, which is the most powerful piece, it can go vertically, horizontally, and diagonally, and yeah, that's the main thing about it. And the king, which is the main game, the main goal of the game is to protect the king, yeah, so that's the goal. It can go only one square at a time in each and every direction. Okay, but how do we put the pieces on the table? We need to know that rooks go to the corners. Always rooks will be on the corners. After that there are knights, bishops, and here we need to be careful, yeah. So the queen always keeps its color, yeah, so the white queen will be on the white square, same as here, yeah, and the king on the square that's not occupied, and the pawns will be put um, in the front of the pieces. Okay, so that's the main uh, the basis of chess. Now we're going to talk about openings or principles. So let me clarify. Rules are things that are things, yeah, that we need to follow. A rule is that the knight moves in an L, yeah, the bishop moves diagonally. That's a rule. A principle is what is like a rule, but we don't really need to we should, yeah, we should do what it says, but it isn't mandatory, yeah. For example, a principle is that we need to develop knights before um, queens, bishops, or rooks, yeah. So for example, um, let's say, yeah, we develop this, yeah, this is a principle, yeah. So this is the first principle, yeah, we need to develop our knights faster than our bishops. And you may ask yourself, well, why do we need to do that? Firstly, knights, you know where knights will be, yeah. So for example, if we are yeah, in this start position, and we play pawn e4, the opponent plays e5, the bishop, we are not sure where it should be, yeah. It should be on c4, on c5, on b5, while knights, we are sure that they need to be on f3, yeah. So that's basically the why this uh, why this is important. Okay, now another principle is that we don't need to never in our games we should blockade our central pawns. For example, if we do this and this, and then we play bishop to d3, this is a mistake. Why? Well, first, it blockades our bishop and our development. Here is where the third um, principle comes in place. Yeah, we need to occupy the center as fast as possible. For example, our opponent, yeah, um, sees that we did a mistake, and he takes the center. He prepares, yeah, for an attack in the center, and um, he's gonna dominate the center while we need to develop the pieces around it, yeah. So it's quite difficult for us to do that. Okay, and now you may ask, Colin, why we should occupy the center? Like, what's the role of it? Let's say, yeah, that we play this, and the opponent just doesn't care. He plays, yeah, let's say this, and we develop our pieces naturally, and he just doesn't care, yeah, like he does this. Tell me, which king is in a safe? Yeah, so not now. Let's say he decides to do this. And now, tell me which king is safer. So, um, you see, black hasn't developed his pieces yet. So it's quite hard for black to do some things around it. For example, I occupied the center while the opponent just didn't care at all. And you see, so now that opponent can make some progress is to just push its pawns, but it hasn't quite, like, every piece will be controlled. So it's quite hard for black to do any development. Not only that, for black is very difficult to do any development, but also his king is in the middle of the board. So that's where the fourth principle comes in place. Kings need to castle as fast as possible. So then, because you see, here the white king is very safe, like you can't checkmate him. You can't you can't make him put him in danger under any circumstances. Okay, so that's basically uh, the main uh, the basis. Yeah. So what we need, I haven't taught you this, but the main goal of the game is to checkmate the opponent king. Yeah, let's say that this is a checkmate. Yeah, so white won here because white is in check. Yeah, like white is threatening to capture the white king, but and white doesn't, and black doesn't have any squares left to leave. Yeah, so to get out of check. Okay, this is the first part. There are gonna be more and more episodes. I'm not sure if I'm gonna post daily, but 3 episodes per week, I think it's a reasonable number of episodes. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something from it. See you later.